Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to really get into something fascinating about grammar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the difference between what linguists call raising and control verbs. It kind of peels back a layer on how sentences actually work.
It really does. It sounds technical, maybe, but it's about how verbs connect actions and actors.
Exactly.
hmm
We're basing this on some ideas from the piece Raising versus Control Verbs. So our mission, make this clear, maybe even a bit intuitive.
Let's do it. Where should we start?
Okay, high level first. Like, it seems to be raining.
Yeah.
That feels different from she tried to leave.
Right. In the first one, it seems the it is just there. It's not doing the seeming.
But with she tried, she is definitely the one doing the trying and the intended leaving.
Precisely. That's the core idea. Raising verbs, like seems, have a subject that isn't really the semantic subject of that verb. It's sort of raised from the clause below it. Whereas control verbs, like try, well, they control the interpretation of the subject in the clause that follows. The main subject is understood as the one doing the action in both parts.
Gotcha. Now, the source mentioned a test using passive voice. How does that help us tell them apart?
Ah, yeah, that's a neat trick. So, take a sentence with what we think is a raising verb. Critics consider John intelligent.
Okay.
You can often passivize the lower part. John is considered intelligent. John, who was the object, becomes the subject. Now try that with a clear raising verb like seems. John seems to be intelligent. You can sort of see John as the subject of be intelligent, which seems comments on.
Okay. And with a control verb.
Like, John tried to interview Mary, you can passivize the lower part. John tried for Mary to be interviewed. See how John is still the trier? He doesn't easily become the subject of the passive part in the same way. It feels different.
Right, it gets awkward. Okay, the source also talked about theta roles. What are those exactly?
Theta roles are basically the semantic jobs nouns do in a sentence. Like who's the agent, the doer, who's the patient, the undergoer, the experiencer, that kind of thing.
Like a job description?
Exactly, a job description. And the key thing with raising verbs is that the subject in the main clause, like John, in John seems sad, doesn't get its job description. It's theta role from seems.
Because he's not being seemed at.
Right, he's the one being sad. So sad, or maybe be sad, gives John the experiencer role. Seems, just comments on it.
Okay, so where does the theta role come from in control sentences, like she wants to leave?
Good question. With control verbs, there's this implied subject in the lower clause. We call it PRO, like a silent pronoun.
PRO.
Okay. So in she wants PRO to leave, the verb leave gives PRO the agent role, the leaver role, and crucially, wants requires that the wanter she is understood to be the same as PRO. She controls PRO.
So the control verb links the main subject to that hidden PRO subject.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So what makes a verb a control verb then?
Yeah.
It's this linkage.
It's that linkage, yeah, and often the meaning. Verbs like want, try, promise, manage, persuade. They all involve some kind of intention or influence over the action in the lower clause.
Right. You use them constantly without thinking about it. He promised to call. He's the promiser and the intended caller.
Exactly.
Okay, now another thing. Expletives. You know, those placeholder words like it and there. How do they fit in?
That's another great differentiator. Raising verbs are perfectly happy with expletive subjects because they don't assign a theta role to their subject position anyway.
Like, it seems to be raining again.
Exactly. Or, there appears to be a problem. It and there don't have meaning, they just fill the subject slot. Raising verbs like seem and appear are fine with that.
But control verbs aren't.
Generally, no, because that silent PRO subject in the lower clause needs to refer back to something meaningful, something that can have a theta role, like an agent or experiencer. You can't really say, it tried to rain, and mean that it is the trier.
Okay, that really clarifies things. So under the hood, structurally, is it about movement versus something else?
Yeah, that's the syntactic theory, basically. Raising structures are often analyzed as the subject moving from the lower clause, like raining, up to the main clause subject position.
Okay.
While control structures involve that silent PRO element in the lower clause, that's just co-referenced or linked to the main clause subject, no movement of the subject itself.
Different mechanisms entirely. Now, can a verb be both? Can it switch teams?
Funny you ask. Yes, some verbs are flexible. Expect is a classic example.
Oh, how?
Well, you can say, I expect PRO to win. That's control. I am the expector and the intended winner.
Right.
But you can also say, John is expected to win. This looks much more like raising, especially in the passive. John seems to have moved up from the to win clause. It feels like John seems likely to win.
Huh. So context and structure really matter.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. Raising verbs. The subject moves up, doesn't get a theta roll from the main verb, works with expletives.
Right, like seems, appears, is likely.
And control verbs. The main subject dictates the silent subject, PRO of the lower clause, gives it a theta roll, usually involves intention or influence.
You got it. Like try, want, promise, persuade.
It's quite an elegant distinction when you break it down. It really shows you the hidden logic.
It does. Understanding this helps you see how meaning and structure are so tightly linked in language.
So a final thought for you listening. Next time you're talking or writing, maybe pause and notice these verbs. Do you feel the difference between saying he seems happy and he wants to be happy? Thinking about that connection, or lack thereof, might just give you a new appreciation for the subtle ways we build meaning. Thanks for this deep dive.
My pleasure. It's fascinating stuff.